This week we're talking about August 7th through the 13th. Leo rules the heart, and the transits this week create a lot of opportunities for you to open your heart. Have fun, enjoy yourself, laugh at yourself. Mercury in Virgo is giving you the tools necessary to bring structure to your joy.
The weekly transit.
Astrology is a language that communicates how the planets and stars influence life on Earth. I'm Scott Tajarian. I'm an interpreter of this language. Join me and my co-host Ingrid Iverson, who helps bring an even more practical look at this astral language. The weekly transit is here to bring clarity to the chaos, so you can ride the planetary waves instead of the planets riding you.
The weekly transit.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Scott.
Hi, Ingrid.
You're looking fresh. It looks like you got a haircut. What's happening over there?
I don't know.
You don't. You sound bummed.
Because I'm okay with the haircut. I'm okay with it now.
You just want to feel more wild? They cut too much off?
Yeah. It's one of these things where there's this place in my neighborhood and I'm lazy, so I just want to walk someplace. Really, I want to cut my own hair because that'll save me money. But Gabriella doesn't like it when I cut my own hair. She thinks
she's like, I have to look at you. So
she thinks I don't do a good job. It's uneven. But I think I do a really great job by cutting my own hair.
Well, you can't even see yourself.
It's called a mirror, Ingrid.
Well, I agree with Gabriella. So
you do?
I think it looks nice. You just think it's too
well,
short?
She doesn't like this haircut either because like the place that I've been going to, and it's the last time I'm going to go there. And it's not their fault. It's my fault. Because it's like going to a Chinese restaurant and ordering a burrito and being upset when you don't like the way that they cooked your burrito at the restaurant. Yeah. Like they do a certain type of haircut at this place.
Everybody looks the same.
Yes. Everybody goes in there with this for the same haircut. And the first time I went in there, I didn't realize that. And it was
chopped you up.
Gabriella was there and I saw the look on her face as she was like sitting kind of far away, like in this lobby area. And she just like looked at me and was like kind of like that. And I was just
love her. Oh no.
And I was like, oh my God, no. It's like they shaved all the way up my back of my head. Like they do this like skin fade thing.
It's like military style or something.
It's not military, kind of, but like half military, half like not military. Because like the top half is not short, it's. So this time I went in and I was like, I don't want, all the way
to the, or whatever.
Yeah. And they were really confused.
But why? Like really we want hard. You to. Why? Why don't really you want it?
This is why I cut my own hair. Because I can give myself a haircut I don't like.
Yeah.
For free. It doesn't cost me $70.
Oh no, was it really $70?
Yeah, they charge you like, I don't know, they charge you like $60, then you want to leave a tip, and it's like all by the time you walk out of there it's $72.
Fuck.
And I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. Why do they do this?
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's a barber shop next door too, and I went there and they gave me an okay haircut. That was like 3 months ago. And I went back there, but I literally sat in the shop for like 10 minutes and nobody came out. It was like open, there was music playing, but nobody there. And so I gave in and went to the other place.
Oh, you're like, I've had enough. Oh no.
Yeah. So anyway,
lesson learned.
Back. Yeah, I hope so.
Maybe, hopefully, lesson learned.
Yeah, but it's Leo season, so things are hard for the Scorpio. And
I know. Will you give us a little recap of last week?
Last week?
Yeah. What were we supposed to be working on?
What were
it feels like a year ago. Like
last
every week.
Yeah, I know, right? Last week was the full moon in Aquarius.
Okay.
So that was the big happening, was the full moon in Aquarius. So releasing, I guess that's what I did. I released all my hair. I cut off my mane. And yeah.
We're supposed to be like kind of reveling in whatever our community we have built for ourselves, kind of experiencing it.
Yeah, being a part of the community. I'm like, I want to go to a barbershop, be a part of the community. Nobody talks to me there, so I don't feel like a community. I feel like an outcast. And then I walk out of there and I feel like an outcast. So that didn't work for me.
Shit.
But
didn't you just do a podcast with somebody else, a guest spot? That was a nice community thing. When does that come out?
Yeah. Oh, it's out. It was live.
Oh, okay,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was a nice community. Yeah. Aquarius energy.
Yeah. That was Ricky King, one of our great supporters, connected me with Chanel is her name. And she is a really amazing woman, like super successful. And like she was like an executive VP at Macy's by the time she was like 40 years old, and was a part of the marketing of Chanel No. 5, that famous perfume.
That's her middle name, and she worked for Chanel.
Honestly, I think that like
that's her nickname.
Her name is Chanel because she was
the
Chanel No. 5 woman at Macy's, and so everyone called her Chanel.
Oh, okay. So, that's so cute. I love that.
Yeah. So she has a show on YouTube called the Reinvented Life, because she reinvented herself.
I gotta see it
from the corporate exec, and so she wanted to talk to me about reinventing myself as an astrologer.
I love that.
So I'll put the link in the show notes.
That's so perfect.
Yeah. How's your hair doing right now?
Well, I straightened it, so I can't stop playing with it. Feels so nice.
You always play with your hair.
Yeah.
You're always fidgeting, always moving. It's a Gemini rising.
So I have this other chair that I don't even want to look down because there's stuff everywhere. This chair, it like moves back and forth, and it's so much more comfy. I've been trying to upgrade the space over here. Oh, it's so squished. But then I can like move without rearranging the whole computer and knocking my mic stand over and shit. So anyways, trying to like, I got a new chair just for this area because I wanted it to like, well, you can't even see it. It looked cute and it matched, but it's like this like mid-century.
And you got a purple
chair.
Light.
Well, I had it there before. It just didn't look like anything. I don't know what was happening.
Yeah.
But a little rearrange, a little plants.
Bouncing off that lunar calendar, really nice. Yeah. Very good.
What else were you telling? You said retrograde was happening?
Well, Mercury is in its retrograde shadow.
Ew. We're at the beginning, right?
Yeah. So it's not retrograde yet.
Just starting
in its retrograde.
To get crazy.
Not quite yet, hopefully. And hopefully this will be a pretty smooth week. But Venus is still retrograde. So many retrograde planets. Venus, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, and then soon to be Mercury, but not this week. Mercury is going to be retrograde. That's next week, I believe. Let me just double check my notes. No, it's in 2 weeks. The 23rd of August is when Mercury retrograde begins. So this is the time the shadow period's about getting everything organized. Mercury in Virgo, in a position of power. So that's really positive. This is a time to really focus your mental attention on your daily routine. What are you doing from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep? How are you feeling your day? How are you taking care of yourself? I actually rode my Peloton bike the other day. Yeah. I feel like I want to start doing that more. They developed this new thing where it's like a video game. It's more engaging to me than
you can ride somewhere, right?
Well,
in
it is like you're
nature.
going somewhere. Well, yeah, they have that, which there's like four or five different ones. It got boring for me. This is like a video game where like you're on like this fake road, like electronic road, and you earn points by hitting different markers.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes with the
You get a
music
little reward,
too.
you know? You get like,
Yeah. It's a game.
that's
It's a
cool.
game. And I like
That's
that better
brilliant.
than somebody yelling at me, telling me to pedal faster or trying to inspire me or
Don't tell
whatever.
Scott what
That's
to do.
you can tell me what to do, but I don't know. I've never been a big workout type of person. Like, come on, push yourself. No.
Dude, I also went to an exercise class. I went to a dance class with
Really?
one of the girls from work. So building my community. This girl who's like
Oh.
really lovely and like an amazing dancer. So I was like really excited to go with her. It brought up so much shit. Like number
What
one,
happened?
it was like a heels class, which is like not a pole dancing class. So you're like kind of like hip hop. You're like walking around doing choreography and then like on the floor. It I could do all the moves individually, but like it was like a choreography class and it was a beginner's class. There's no such thing as a beginner's class in LA because every professional dancer shows up so you look like a fucking
Oh yeah,
idiot,
for
dude.
sure.
This is like I've gotten kind of disheartened every time I've gone. Like it was part inspiring because you see all these amazing dancers, but I'm like, dude, everyone is so far past my skill level. There's
Mm-hmm.
no way that these people just learned this 4 minute choreography and remembered it. Like you've been doing, they're either cheerleaders or like dance troupe or ballet people or whatever. And then they just come and they're like professionals or they've been doing it at least 15, 20 years longer than me. They
Mm-hmm.
show up for like a warm up for their daily little routine or just to like experience a teacher for like maintenance. And I'm just like, bitch, I am end up feeling like I'm like I dance at work. Also like the shoes were different. I did not feel very once I started like forgetting the moves, my confidence and my like internal it was just very stressful. Like a lot of anxiety. And then they like record everything. So then there's like then they like pick only the best people to like go in front of everybody. I'm just like, "Oh my god."
Did you have fun?
The first half was fun. The second half I started like declining. Like the more I had to remember, I was just like at first it was exciting and then the second half I felt like it was just like oh, I have to practice all the time and be okay with being uncomfortable. Like
Mhm. As far as your dance experience, I think, especially with the sun in Leo, it's about having fun. And it sounds like you're comparing yourself to other people in the class, which you know what they
well,
say, comparison is the thief of joy.
well,
And
if you can't keep up, there's nothing else to do but stare at everybody else to try to like pick up in a panic. Like it was just so fast for me. Like what I'm able to, even if I'm not able to do it well, if I'm able to like follow the class, I'm just like, okay, this is fun, even if I'm not perfect. But like at a certain point, it was so fast that I was just like, all I could do was look around and try to like pick up something from someone else. And I was just like, why does everyone else knows what's happening except me? And that was like very, like, it's really hard not to compare yourself when you're like, I'm like the odd man out.
hmm,
So I don't know. I get the only thing to do is to go back and experience more discomfort because choreography is all memorization. So it's like once you
yeah,
learn the moves and then you're like starting to put them in different orders where you're not learning something new for the first time, maybe it'll get less icky. I'm just like, I
mm,
guess even as an adult, it's like doing something new is scary and it's uncomfortable. And unless you're doing new things all the time and being like, oh, I'm bad at something, it's okay. It just feels very confronting
yeah,
to
it's okay.
have to start from square one.
Yeah, totally. Think about it. I started doing astrology when I was older than you are now.
And now
When I
look at
was
you.
when I was your age, I had no idea I was going to be an astrologer.
Hmm.
So just have fun. or unless it's not fun, then don't do it.
I
But
mean, I think
do what's fun.
if I keep doing it, I think it will be fun. Like there is like a reward when you
Mm-hmm.
are able to accomplish a goal that you have. So, but it is hard like to be able to stick with something even when you don't get that instant reward. Like it takes a long time to build the skills, and it's just a reflection for just everything in life, whether it's career or just personal fun stuff. Just because you're not good at it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Like I don't think I shouldn't do it just because I felt stupid. I wasn't taking it as a sign that I shouldn't take more classes. I was absolutely like, I'm gonna really have to go. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to go. Like I've been going to physical therapy for a little over a year, and I just
Huh.
started really seeing results. Like my shoulder has felt better for a while, why I initially went, but
Mm-hmm.
strength wise, endurance wise, like the physicality, the visual aspect of it, I feel like I'm really just starting to see that. Like I went to this dance class, the next day I was totally wrecked, and I was scared for the
Mm-hmm.
day after because I went to a dance class, yoga class, work. That was
Mm.
probably
Wow.
it was too much.
Yeah.
I was I woke up with a back spasm and spent all like 3 hours in the tub.
Oh my
But then I was
God.
like, oh, for sure, the next day I'm going to be even more sore. The next day I was fine. And before I would go to physical therapy and I would dread if I had to do physical therapy and work in the same day, I was just like, that's a bad idea. I don't know if I
Mm.
can do it. And now I don't even pay attention to when the physical therapy is. Ideally, it's not on the same day, but I'm going to go to work. I'm going to be fine. So,
Yeah.
and then just I've been getting like like physical compliments on my like muscles, like my muscle tone very recently from the
Oh.
mainly from the people that work at like the physical therapy office and my massage lady, and I was like, "Oh wow, like it takes like a year of diligent consistent work for things to change."
Totally.
And so, I was trying not to get too hard on myself because obviously all the other people have been doing it for 15 years. Like they're all dancers already. That's
Mhm.
their like I guess I'm a dancer, but a different type of dancer. Choreography is a whole other thing.
Mm.
And so just trying to be gentle with myself and also encourage myself that like if I want to get better, I'm going to have to be uncomfortable and feel stupid. That's just what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
not let it ruin my day or like
No.
not go back. I already booked another class that I'm going to go to with the
Cool.
same girl from work. So
Oh,
anyways,
good.
building my community, kind of that Leo energy. Hopefully it will
Yeah.
be more playful and fun.
Yes. Love it. Awesome.
What do you have for us this week?
Well, I have, what do I have for us this week?
What's more
That's a good
Virgo
question.
energy, right? Organizing our
More
days.
Virgo, more Leo.
Hmm.
Virgo, Leo, those are some Gemini, some uh a little Taurus energy as well. Those are the main, yeah. Aries, those the signs that we're talking about the most in terms of like where the planets are Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Leo, and Virgo.
Okay.
Those 4 or 5 signs. Yeah. Which are applicable to everyone. Just because you're not one of those signs doesn't mean that you aren't being affected by this energy. You're not living in a bubble.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do we want to thank our sponsors before we begin?
Yes, please, Scott. Oh, I have an addition. So I want to thank our sponsors through Spotify. If you'd like to donate to the
Mm.
podcast through Spotify, if you go to the show notes, there's a support link. If you're watching on YouTube, you can actually give us a super thanks, which is like a $2 tip for any of our videos. If you get something out of this podcast and you want to thank us, we would love it if you would give us a little tip.
Amazing.
It's like a little
That's so
heart button
cool.
in the bottom right.
Yeah.
So we just got
Yeah.
it this last week. So that
Yeah.
means like I think
That's
we have
exciting.
less than 1,000 subscribers to get like monetized commercially, but we are allowed to take tips.
You mean we're less than 100 subscribers from being monetized commercially?
What I don't even know what I said.
You said less than 1,000.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we're less than 100 away from getting like ad spots for getting monetized on YouTube.
Yes.
So even if you don't watch us on YouTube, normally if you go subscribe, it would really mean a lot. We're getting really close to our goal. And then every time we post something, we would get a little bit of money, which would be very lovely. We can spend
Yes.
more time doing what we love, sharing the planets and stars with you.
Yes. Yes. To our Spotify monthly sponsors. That's Nicole, Brenna, Kendra, Larry, Jasmine, Janelle, Vincent and Michelle, Aline, Cassie, Merdinas, Brooke, Ricky, Amaranth, Annie, Haley, and Carrie. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, I'm excited about this thanks thing, the
I
$2
know.
tip or
I
whatever
know.
for
It's also
YouTube.
really
And
cute.
it's
It's like
like,
a little, I think it's a little heart with a little prayer hands or something.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a heart and thank you, right?
Yeah.
Like the thank you
Yeah.
hands. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So this week is the week of August 7th through the 13th. And
Oh, and
this, yeah,
before you get started,
yeah.
just the best way to follow along with the podcast is to go to the website, theweeklytransit.com, go to the forecast. It's a short overview of what we talk about on here. All of the signs and symbols that flash across the screen, if you're watching us, are there for you to study. And then to get the basics of astrology, the book we put together that has all the signs and symbols, it's basically a glossary of all the terms and conditions we talk about here. So if you want to up your astrology game, the website, the book, and the podcast are all meant to go together.
Yes. This week, there's no planets moving into new signs. So hopefully this week is a week where the energy is kind of settled. It's becoming more stable. We've had an opportunity to dip our toe into the waters of what the energy is. And this week is about continuing on that path that we've already been on rather than being jerked aside onto some new path. Yeah. So we'll begin here on Monday, August 6th, where we're looking at Mercury, the messenger of the gods, guide of souls to the underworld, the planet of consciousness, communication, and coordination, forming a positive trine with the moon, the planet of emotions. Mercury is in the mutable earth sign symbolized by the Virgin and ruled by Mercury. So, as we said earlier, Mercury is in a position of power right now, forming a positive trine to the moon in the fixed earth sign symbolized by the bull, Taurus. The moon is exalted in Taurus. So both of these planets are in signs where they have power. Mercury in Virgo in its rulership, the moon in Taurus where it's exalted. I really love this alignment. The moon in Taurus brings a serene nature to the emotions, though it can also be really stubborn and bullish. So it's all how you're working with the energy. But it's a time to, whenever the moon's in Taurus every month, it's a time to really tap into your senses, your likes and dislikes. And today, with the alignment with Mercury and Virgo, it's connecting your emotions to your mind. And your emotions, the emotions are in the sign of the senses. So you're asking yourself, how can I satisfy my senses in my work, in my daily routine, in my health, diet, job, all these areas? Like, how do I enliven my senses in these areas?
I think this week, one of my goals was to make sure I went and did some really good grocery shopping because food is really important to me and helps my routine so much to have something nutritious and healthy and delicious that I can put together that's not super complicated. So I went and got groceries. I've got berries, ricotta for like protein, like a sweet snack. I got already made like tamales because those have a lot of protein and they're simple, like just stocking my fridge with good things and then even decorating my space, making it feel good for me. Like when I look around and things feel beautiful and are like delicious, even just like using my candles, like incorporating the things that I love into my daily routine, whether it's like the podcast or I'm getting ready for work, like making sure my space is nice and appreciating, kind of like appreciating my home because I'm at home a lot of the time. So just making that work for me, whatever that is for somebody else, I don't know, but adding something that brings excitement to your routine. Even like sometimes if I'm really not feeling it, I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to like even if it's like fast food sometimes, I'm like, I'm gonna go get a fucking shake. I'm gonna get an energy drink, things that I don't normally do, where I'm like, I need something exciting today. So like being able to indulge sometimes to be like, okay, I need a little extra. I need something fun. And maybe that's like bringing my berries and ricotta to work so I can have like a fancy dinner instead of the strip club chicken tenders. You know, like that's when times are dark, when I don't have like the little excitements and the like the that Taurus energy of enjoying the senses.
Yes.
Using your perfume like for yourself, like even if you're just at home getting ready and giving yourself that routine, even if you don't have to go to work that day, make yourself a nice breakfast so you can have a good day off.
Well, and all that requires money to buy food or anything.
Yeah.
And that's what Taurus is about. It's about money. Mercury and Virgo is maybe with this alignment is also about getting your finances in order, really getting clear about where you're spending your money. How are you spending your money? Do I need to conserve in certain areas? Do I need to pay $72 for a haircut that I don't like?
I mean, the grocery shopping was like, I feel like the last week and a half, I never order food out or like to go, whatever, Uber Eats stuff. But I was just so depleted and I like needed food. And I was like, that is the last fucking time. Like, I could have made so many meals from the money I spent on Uber Eats. Like, I need to go to the grocery store, save my money so I can have things that are actually more enjoyable for myself. I'd much rather actually have that homemade meal than to have spent $30 on one single portion of something that was just okay.
Well, and that also, like, do you have time to make the meal? And if you don't have time, then how can I create greater efficiency in my life? Maybe there's some things that I'm doing every day that I can cut out.
Yeah.
That would free up more time for me so that I can have what is more important to me. Like, where you're spending your time every day is based on your values and what's important to you.
Yeah.
So this Mercury and Virgo energy is about readjusting your schedule
to accommodate your values.
But that's the moon in Taurus. So Mercury in Virgo is readjusting your schedule to accommodate your values, which is the moon in Taurus. That sums it right up. Awesome. Well done, Ingrid. Tuesday, August 8th, the sun, the giver of light, life, and vitality, transiting through the sign that it rules, the fixed fire sign symbolized by the lion, Leo. So Mercury's in a position of power because it's in the sign that it rules, Virgo. The sun is in a position of power because it's in the sign that it rules, Leo. The sun is aligning with the moon in Taurus, which is also in a position of power because it's in the sign that it is exalted in. But this is a stressful aspect because it's a square. So when you're squaring off with someone, it's a fight. The lion, where the sun is, doesn't back down from anyone or anything. The bull, where the moon is, doesn't back down from anyone or anything. So the moon is in Taurus, the bull, the emotions with the senses, and the sun is in Leo, which is your heart.
I'm wondering if I mean, Leo's very like playful and expressive and like it can be very extra. So maybe there is some indulgence there that you would like to spend more freely, have more fun with your money. And you've been more, but you also just realized yesterday, I need to be looking at my budget, making more logical decisions about my money so I can actually put my money where my mouth is, or whatever you want to call it, like spend wisely so I can actually attain these values in my life. And then the next day you're like, oh, but I just want to have some fun. I want to go out and have some drinks. Yeah. I want to go party.
Exactly. That's it. I want to buy a house, but instead of saving money, I'm going to go out to eat at a nice restaurant, every week this month. And so the $1,000 that I just spent on 4 dinners, instead of putting that towards a savings account,
It's so easy to make that excuse. It's an excuse, and you have to
Yes.
remember yesterday. It's like, yeah, of course I want to do that. Even when I tell my like people invite me out, I'm like, I already spent my like allotted amount of money for going
Mm-hmm.
out. Like I really don't go
Mm-hmm.
out that often, so I already did it. I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I could do something at my house, make food here, but like I can't just be frivolously ordering to go food or whatever when there's food in my fridge or like
Yep.
going out drinking, being more and just being okay with that too. Just being like, okay, of course I want to do that. That's what everyone wants to do. If we could all do whatever we wanted, then that would be great. But keeping those long-term goals in mind.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. And that's the stress. That's the strain between these two planets, where one wants to go out and live it up, and the other side is being more practical. So there is a strain between the identity, which is the sun, and the emotions, which is the moon. And you'll see it in the sky. When you look up in the sky and you see that moon is going to be split in half.
Oh, yes, the
which
discomfort.
represents the conflict between the light and the shadow. So look for that on Tuesday, August 8th. Moving to Wednesday, August 9th, we have Mercury again in Virgo, forming a positive trine to Jupiter, the god of thunder, lord of justice, the planet of luck and expansion, in Taurus, which is transiting near to Uranus, the primordial sky god, the planet of revolution, rebellion, innovation, independence, and the unexpected. Also in Taurus, which is forming a square to Venus, Lady Luck, the goddess of love and beauty, the planet of relationships, moving retrograde through Leo. So two aspects here. The one with Mercury and Jupiter. So Jupiter's expanding that Taurus energy, which means two things. On one side of the coin, we're making more money. On the other side of the coin, we're spending more money.
Ah, no.
Yeah, exactly.
So easy to do that.
Jupiter brings luck, but it also brings extravagance.
It does.
And so Mercury is here in Virgo to like, okay, let's get a handle on this. What do we actually need?
Yeah, you got to be the critic. You have to look at your list of things, and are you sticking to your budget, or are you out of control?
Like, look at your balance sheet. Okay, did I need to buy that? Did I need to buy this? Did I need to spend money here, there, all this stuff?
I mean,
okay,
also
look at all the things that I spent money on last month. Did I need this stuff? No. Okay, well, that's $1,000 right there that I just spent on things that I don't really need.
It's so important to connect with that Virgo energy, because otherwise, if left untethered, you're just going to spend all your money. And then also being intentional with your spending. Did you spend it on food that you didn't need, or like outings that you didn't need? Or you're like, oh, you know what I really need is a new pair of gloves for my kitchen, and like some really practical things that would make your daily routine more pleasurable. Like I really needed I need a new set of gloves because I like to do my dishes with gloves, and they just look ugly and old, and I'm just like, I need it. I needed like a new brush. The little pieces were like falling off the tips of the, I don't know what the hell. Yeah. And it was just old, and I was just like, oh, do I need these things? It's just for like
brush.
I'm like, I did actually need them. It made me feel so good to have those things that are part of my daily routine. No, I don't need to go out and spend money on a to-go food. Yes, I do need to spend money on some practical things for my home that give me like a comfort in my everyday, to enjoy doing dishes more, to enjoy doing my hair more, the things that I actually have to do that day to take care of myself.
Yes. Being practical with your spending. It's not spending. It's just like, is what I'm spending the money on creating an efficiency in my life?
Yeah.
Or is it making things harder because now I don't have the money for things that I really do need?
Yeah.
Then you look at the Venus in Leo squaring Uranus in Taurus. Now, is this where the breakup happens?
I think that there's maybe some difference of people's values, where they're like, oh, well, you don't like to come out and party. Well, then I guess like we're not friends, or well, like giving people shit for not being on the same page in terms of like, I mean, Leo energy is that very playful, fun energy, and also, spending your money. So
Yeah.
them not being accommodating to your new budget or
Yeah. Leo's the
practicality.
queen. The queen doesn't have a budget.
Mm-hmm.
The queen spends whatever she wants to spend, It's like, so yes, I mean, there is some sort of expression of the heart that is occurring here that is being shaken in an uncomfortable way with Uranus squaring Venus. So if you are feeling rattled in your relationships, just know that you're not alone. And that is because Uranus is squaring Venus. And this rattling that is occurring in your relationships is meant to shake you at your core so that the way whatever walls you've built around your heart are being crumbled, they're dropped to the ground so that your heart is open. And when your heart is open, then you can truly express what it is you value. And if your values don't align with the other person, well, then that's something for you to work through. It doesn't mean that
maybe
you have
that's
to
just
break up, but
communicating like, hey, I wish I could go to this event with you, but I don't have the money right now.
Mhm.
So is there something else we can do to connect? Because this is where
Right.
I'm at. Otherwise, instead of just saying no to everyone inviting you to plans and then them thinking you don't like them
yes,
or don't want to spend time with them. But if they understood that it was a more practical reason, then maybe they
yes,
could be more open, like more, you both could be more open-hearted because you're not feeling like the tension.
right. The tension is meant to help you open your heart.
I mean,
you're trying to close it.
I peeked ahead.
You peeked ahead. Ingrid's peeking ahead
To Thursday. And then, well, Thursday
August
has
10th.
this moon and Gemini energy connecting there. So it's like we're talking, it's lighter, we're communicating about our emotions.
Right on.
And our hearts are opening.
Yes, yes. Gemini is the mutable air sign symbolized by the twins, and it forms that positive sextile with the sun. So yes, opening your heart. When your heart is open, then you can ask questions of the ones that you're around. Like, well, then tell me what you're into. What do you like to do? What is fun for you? Which dance class do you want to go to? And being open in that way will help them want to ask you questions as well, hopefully.
My friend that I went to the class with, she went to another dance class after the dance yoga combo.
Oh, wow.
And she's like a more experienced dancer than me. Like she was totally able to keep up. She was so good. And I was just like, wow, I'm so like, and then when she messaged me after her class and she was just like, I left feeling crushed. I wasn't able to keep up. It was a advanced class. She's like, my inner child was crushed. They picked me to be on camera. I couldn't keep up. Like I was so embarrassed. And so both of us really shared how like, because I couldn't actually imagine her feeling the same way I felt.
Right.
And I didn't say anything. I was like, like almost in tears in my car afterwards. I was just like trying to hold it together because I was just like, this is the worst feeling. I just feel so embarrassed. And then she said the same, all the things that I was feeling, she said, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this person that I look up to who's like on a whole nother level than me also feels the same way. Like,
yes.
It was just like the communication and the open-heartedness really brought us closer together. And now we're going to another class. Because she was like, cheering each other up and encouraging each other. Because like, I'm like, oh my God, you should never feel like that because like, you're so amazing. And she's like, oh my gosh, like, lifting each other up and opening our hearts and connecting and being curious about what the other person experienced was just really special.
That's what the Leo energy is all about. Like, let's celebrate you. Let's celebrate you. And with the moon in Gemini, how can we celebrate you? What's the best way to celebrate you? How do you want to be celebrated? That's the question you can ask people on this day. How do you want to be celebrated? I want to celebrate you today.
I love that.
Yeah. So Thursday, which is Thor's day, it's the day of Jupiter, abundance, expansion. Hopefully this is a day of celebration. As we move on to Friday, Frigg, which is the day of Venus, this is the moon, again in Gemini, now forming a sextile the other direction. You see it goes from the sun to the north node in the cardinal fire sign symbolized by the ram. Aries, the north node, is the karmic pathway of the soul or soul's purpose. So more of that encouragement. How can I encourage you? Who are you? Well, who are you as a dancer? Where do you want to be as a dancer? How do you see yourself as a dancer? Well, I can see you being that way. Okay, well then this is what you can do it. How do you want to identify yourself? How do you want to be seen by others? If somebody asks who you are, what do you tell them? And this is about having the courage to ask other people who they are. And when you ask other people who they are, that might give you an idea that helps you learn about yourself more.
Yeah. You're like, well, what are they
to other people? Like, oh, there's another person who knows this other dance class. Maybe we can all go there. And next thing you know, like maybe you have your whole dance group.
Oh, I love that.
Who knows? But Gemini is all about connecting. And so when the moon's in Gemini, connecting to the sun in Leo and the north node in Aries, that is the air fueling the fire.
It's lifting it up.
Yes, elevating it, lifting it up, raising the air, fueling the fire. Love it. Saturday, August 12th, more fire energy facing our fears here. As the sun continues transit through Leo, it forms a positive trine with Chiron, the wound, and the ancient wisdom that is unlocked through healing that wound in Aries. So this Chiron in Aries is urging us to face our insecurities. I'm not a good dancer. I suck. No, you don't. You're really good. Maybe you're not as good as you want to be in this class because you're in the class with like professional dancers, but you can figure it out. Just show up. That's facing your fears. The fact that you didn't feel good in that dance class, but then you're going to go back. That's that Chiron and Aries energy where you're like, I don't care. I'm going to go there. I'm going to shine. Put the spotlight on me. Put me on camera. I'm going to make a fool of myself. Everyone's going to laugh, including me. And we're going to have a good time. That's how we're going to learn.
They did like you get to individually videotape yourselves. Like the other girls will video. I looked at it like once. Instead of feeling bad while I watched it, I really just did laugh. I was just like, this is ridiculous. I look so dumb, but like, also no one else is looking at you. They're all just trying to remember the fucking dance. They don't give a shit what you look like. They know you're obviously trying. Like no one is sitting there judging someone else like, oh, I can't believe they don't have the move. They're fucking working their ass off.
They're too busy thinking about themselves and their own moves. Exactly.
So, yeah, it was I saw it and I was like, oh my freaking God, this is just absurd. I was just
Leo is laughter. Laugh at yourself. I laughed at myself with my haircut. I'm like, yeah, this is great, man. Thank you so much. Here's a $12 tip. It's like
you made my day.
Yeah, exactly. Gabrielle is making fun of me. I don't care. It's fine. I'm 47 years old. Like it doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, I think the older you get, the less you care about how you look or what everything that's going on. You just have to laugh at yourself. Laugh at yourself. Laugh at the whole experience of life. I mean, this is absurd what we're doing here on planet Earth. Like, how are we here? Why are we here? You just have to laugh sometimes.
That's I also like I have this habit of getting into a dance class. Like I'm always like saying yes to if somebody invites me to a dance class. And numerous times I've ended up showing up to a ecstatic dance class, which there's no direction. It's just you dance however you feel, which now I could go to one of those and I'm fine. But like initially the first 2 times it happened was an accident. I'm like, what do you mean we're just going to dance how we feel? We're sober. It's noon. The teacher just says, move around however you like. People are rolling around on the floor and you're just like, what is... And like, I just feel like those moments, I'm just like, is this my life? Why do I... And then one of the times I went to a dance class, I think I might have shared this with you before, but I'm always picking like I'm just doing the wrong thing somehow. Usually I would go to like a salsa class and then everyone would be dressed to the nines. They're in heels. Their makeup is done. They look beautiful. And I would just go in my like street clothes, like whatever, like not dressed. I'm like, I'm wearing tennis shoes, and I thought it was a dance class, so I'd assume you would wear sweats. And I
Yeah.
didn't have any of these fancy heel outfits to even wear that. I don't wear dresses and skirts.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, okay, whatever. I'm kind of the odd man out because everyone, even the guys, dress up really nice. So then I go to a dance class. It's a salsa class. I get there. I bought heels. I got an outfit. I'm wearing all black.
You're the only one dressed up.
It was a fucking Zumba class. Everyone's looking at me like I'm a lunatic. I basically showed up to the gym in a full makeup outfit and heels. Wow. And I was just, I could have felt embarrassed. Instead, I was like, I couldn't stop laughing because it was just so absurd. Like, why am I here like this?
That's hilarious.
So I really do, remembering to laugh, just to laugh at myself.
Yes.
I think that is so important. It's not that serious.
Yes.
We all look fucking stupid. We don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Exactly.
And even if we do know what we're doing, we're not looking at other people like, oh, they don't know. Like, I would probably think it's funny if the girl, if I was in that class, I'd be like, wow, the girl's all dressed up. She looks so cute. I can't believe she's like dancing in this full outfit and hair and makeup. And, if you flip the script, you're like, oh, people think you're like so dumb. It's like,
yeah,
no one's thinking anything probably. If anything, they might actually think you're like, they're like admiring you and you're sitting over there like getting worried about what people think.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I love that story. I feel like we don't know how other people are perceiving us. Mm-hmm. And usually, maybe I shouldn't say usually, but a lot of the time we might be judging ourselves very harshly.
Yeah, we're our own worst critic.
Exactly. That thing. Yeah, we're our own worst critic. You're so stupid, and everyone's like, what are you talking about? Like,
I loved what you just did. Don't say you're stupid. Like, I liked it. So what am I? I'm the stupid one now because I was enjoying the thing that you were doing.
Yeah.
I mean, even when I used to go to I used to go to yoga a lot, like, and people would always be like, oh, I can't do yoga, I'm not flexible. I'm like, that's the point. No, number one, no one's fucking looking at you.
Exactly.
Number two, the whole point is to increase your strength and flexibility. So obviously, if you were the best at it, then why would you need to go? Like, no one, anytime there's like a beginner, everyone's like so excited and welcoming. They're like, yay, you're gonna be a part of what we do. Like, that's so exciting. It's gonna change your life. It's gonna be so fun. Like, don't worry that you don't know all the things. You'll catch on and it will be amazing. So I don't know anyone who is in that space to be like, they're not that good. Grow up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
if someone is thinking that, like,
grow up. We're not in junior high anymore. Like, when you're in junior high, you're super insecure. You don't know who you are, and so you put other people down to make yourself feel better because you don't know who you are. Now you're an adult, and once you're an adult, you realize, holy shit, life is fucking hard. So I don't have the time and energy to make fun of people and kick people when they're down or anything like that, because I'm too busy trying to just stay
pick
on
myself
my own
up.
2 feet. Yeah, exactly. So get out of that middle school mindset of the mean girls mentality. Like, that's not where adults live. When we move on to Sunday, August 13th, the sun and Venus.
More Leo energy
here. Yes, Venus transiting back, retrograde, the sun transiting forward at 20 degrees here. Whew. Yeah, this is opening your heart in a big way. If you have key astrological points or planets at or near to 20 degrees in Taurus or Scorpio, the heart opening might feel like a heart breaking. So just be open to whatever that experience is. For those that have key astrological points or planets at or near to 20 degrees in Leo or Aries or Sagittarius, Libra or Gemini, like, it's heart opening, heart invigorating. But generally speaking, this should be a really big heart opening experience in your close personal relationships. If it's heartbreaking, it's because the heart needs to be opened in a certain area. where it's closed. And in order to open it in that area, it needs to break. So for those that it just feels opening in like exuberance, roll with that energy. Share that warmth. Shine that light. Have fun. Spread the joy. Spread the joy. And yes, so this is what we have. If you're curious about how this transit or any other transit is affecting you directly, I encourage you to contact me for a reading at theweeklytransit.com.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Scott.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We also have moon cycle classes, new classes coming up this next week. So you can enroll there at theweeklytransit.com. Yes. And then in 2 weeks, well, like, what is it? Yeah, 2 weeks is the next North Node class. Also, you can enroll in that as well.
Go hang out with Scott online.
Hang out with me online. Yeah, totally. And if you want to do the cosmic pathway or the cosmic reset, work with me on a more consistent level, you can also contact me at theweeklytransit.com or email me. Just put cosmic pathway, cosmic reset at Scott at theweeklytransit.com.
All right. Thank you so much, Scott. I'll see you next week.
See you next week, Ingrid.
Thank you for listening to The Weekly Transit. Follow us on Instagram for daily updates about the planetary alignments and how to work with the energy. If this podcast is helping you navigate life more gracefully, please subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and share with your friends. If you're ready to go deeper, book a personal reading with Scott or sign up for his new moon, full moon class at theweeklytransit.com.
The Weekly Transit.